Welcome to the Spearo Diaries podcast with Laura and Elise.
Two mermaids chatting about spearfishing and ocean adventures.
In this episode, we chat about the two Great Barriers.
Specifically speaking, Laura's last dive and my next dive.
We talk about sleeping on boats and sneaking up on snapper.
Learning new types of hunting styles and new species of fish.
From Great Barrier Island to the Great Barrier Reef.
We hope you enjoy. Well, Laura, how you doing?
Oh, hey mate, it's been a while.
I know.
Seems like yesterday.
It's no, but it's good to actually sit down and chat diving. Not that we don't do that every other couple days, but yeah, you've had some really cool trips lately, and there's one particular one I'd love to talk to you about.
Yeah, you keep not coming with me, so I've had to make new friends.
I know. We've got sometimes I have to go to work. Otherwise, I've got my little kiddos. I went to the snow, you went diving.
And I've got no life and no children, so...
Don't think so. No, but it's really cool. So, how you doing, mate?
I'm pretty good. You know, winter in New Zealand, there's still some great diving to be had. I've got some... I guess we should... are you going to tell them or am I going to tell them?
Well, all right. I asked Laura a really special question the other day. It was...
Set the scene.
Right. I was on my way to work.
Early morning.
And I thought, you know what? It's time. It's time to ask. Laura, will you be my dive buddy for the Nationals Opens?
And I guess like any great proposal, you'd think, I knew my answer straight away and the rest was, just lovely, and there were photos and everyone was congratulating us. But, I did actually have to do a double take. I actually thought to myself, hold on, this doesn't relate to the question that I last talked to her about. Has she sent me this by accident?
As if.
Am I whose second or third copy and paste draft text? What?
Yeah, well, look, I asked multiple other people, and when they said no, I thought, well, it's time to ask Laura.
I thought to myself, she's seen the slaying I've done on the weekend. She knows she knows I'm going to get snapped up in no time.
She put up a picture of a snapper, and I was like, well, I'm going to have to get in there now. I'm going to have to actually ask her instead of her just asking me 40 times and me being like, yeah.
Finally impressed you, I know I've cracked it now.
I think I said, I think that that's really light and fluffy, but I think all I said was, do you want to be my dive buddy? We will not be sitting on rocks having breaks, but I said you could, if you wanted.
Good detail. I think my response was...
you could have some electrolytes while swimming if you wanted.
And I think my response was, I will only be saying yes if I can stop for a snack. I didn't say we could get out.
You can stop for a snack, but
require a snack.
As long as you go down and get a kinnet and that's your snack, so that just in case while you're wanting a snack, there could be a fish nearby.
As long as I can suckle on my myzone as I fin along, then agreed.
I will get you electrolytes, and Laura, I will even get you some. I'll get you some worms to go with it.
Lovely. Well, you heard it here first.
Lolly
Laura
worms,
and
not
Elise,
just regular worms.
Spearo Diaries teaming up to take on the Open Nationals.
I think we're going to do good.
In December 2024, Stewart Island, New Zealand. That'll be us.
Hell yeah. Pretty excited about that. I think it's going to be good. And I think we dive well together, and we've got to a new point in comps where we only talk for fun, not because we need to.
To be fair, it's not that far away. Like the other comps, obviously normally being in Feb and stuff, it is gonna sneak up on us, which is why it's worth mentioning on here, because it's only a few months away. So that'll be our little side campaign for training and for diving. But in the meantime, let's cover a few things, including your exciting upcoming trip to Aussie, which I'm very jealous about not coming on and kicking myself for not selling.
There's every chance that I'm going to get on the plane to go to Australia, and I'll turn around and Laura will be there.
Look, I've been trying to sell my feet online. Pictures of my feet online. But, at this stage...
This is not an invite for you guys to be asking Laura for her feet pictures.
Unless you're going to pay for them.
Unless you're paying.
Unless that money comes in pretty quickly so I can get to this trip in Australia.
Yeah, we'll do what we've got to do.
No, I don't have good feet. Let's be serious here.
She's got a weird thing about her feet, but they're fine. We don't need to go into
all right, moving along.
The toes or anything like that. We'll just carry on. But just notice in every picture they're not in there.
Finfans.com. Finfans.com.
pay for that. Well, Laura, you've also, I'm going to a Great Barrier, but you've also just been to a Great Barrier, the Great Barrier Island in New Zealand, at the weekend. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Who did you go with? Whereabouts? Tell us all about it.
It was glorious winter diving. Wasn't my first trip there. My first trip there was with you and one of the boys I actually went with. So I've had good memories at this location, and it was just looking like really good diving conditions for a whole weekend. So
And the few days leading up to it, I was also jealous because I was at work. But anyway.
you say this, but you're also climbing this weird thing called the side of a rock face, looking down at the dive conditions. Actually,
What's wrong with me?
yeah, what's wrong with you? But moving along from that, so yeah, couldn't have you come with me, so I had to find some other buds. So the Great Barrier Island overnighter trip that I went on was the 3Ds and me, which is how it sounds. It literally sounds
You went
ridiculous.
out on a boat with 3Ds.
Yeah, Darren and Dave and me. Could not have written that better myself. So Darren wanted to take his boat there and do an overnighter because he's heading overseas soon. So a couple of us teed that up. And honestly, it was one of those weekends where everyone was going out to different places. There were lots of different chats about it. So I felt very lucky to be included on the boys' trip. And yeah, there was basically just lots of chat on the way over of, you know, places we were going to go, spots we were going to go to, looking for crayfish, hoping we'd see pelagics, and yeah, I was just really, really keen to snapper snoop, to be honest. It's been my focus for a while, and it did not disappoint.
So, speaking of the snapper, snooping, you have been on a bit of a snapper journey lately where you've been learning how to snoop and how to burley, and I think you came away with quite a bit of success this time. Do you want to talk about how you, what you caught and how you got them, should I say?
Yeah, well, the day before it, because on the Sunday, it was really cool because we slept on the boat. It was that situation of where, like, you wake up and it's early morning and there's hardly or no other boats around, I think, by memory, and we had a specific spot that we were going to go to. So the day before, we'd actually had a little bit of a swim around in the exact spot, and I thought to myself, this isn't stupid. I'm actually going to, scout my ledges. So I had a little swim around kind of as it was getting dark. It was pretty murky water, but good enough to kind of be able to see what terrain there was and stuff. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm finally going to be able to, put together some of the things that I've been taught from people and some of the little tips they've given me, and not let someone else lead the way too much. I think on the Saturday I was with Dave and he was kind of leading the way, and we were taking turns snooping, and we didn't really see a lot in terms of snapper, so we were kind of all talking about how the early morning would be ideal conditions, and that's basically what it was. Decided that I would get out my old hammer and set 3 different burley with honestly 20 to 30 kinner, smashed them up with a hammer. One of the other boys, Darren, helped me crush some of those because he kind of, was just coming along with me, didn't really know too much about snapper snooping. We set 3 separate burleys and basically let them marinate for a little while. But before doing that, I did the whole where you go down and practice your approach and see, for me, pretty much seeing if I can keep my fins down and my knees down and actually hold my breath long enough to look over and make sure that the sun was in the right place and that there was maybe some weed cover for me to kind of hide behind. And
Did you get right down into the kelp and really sneak through the kelp?
Yeah, literally.
Awesome.
Well, some of the things you
Dragging
taught me
yourself
actually.
along?
Just fully practiced the whole approach of where I was going to come through and go down, and had to look around, and actually lucky enough that there was actually kinner in all of those spots. I don't even have to actually move any kinner. I literally just hammered kinner that was already there. Bloody handy.
Yeah.
And just overkilled it. One of the boys was talking about how, might as well just smash up heaps. And then we were talking about, me and the other guy that I was with were talking about how we always lose our burley spots. So we were like, okay, how do we mark this? How do we know that we're going to come back to the right spot? Luckily, the other 2 boys who decided to come cut across and try and go over the top of one of our third burleys got an earful from me. I was a bit of a psycho, to be honest. I was like, "You're on my burley!
You will not take this burley from me!"
I remember Luke Potts was someone saying recently about how sound doesn't actually matter too much, and I was like, well, lucky, because I was yelling over all 3 of my burley across this little bay where we all
Yeah.
were, but I was just like, don't you be wrecking
Get
one
out
of
of
my
here.
burleys.
Go on, get.
Yeah, and honestly, it just went really well. I didn't miss any. The first one I went down, basically there was, just a bunch of different fish around, and I had heaps of kind of kelp kind of camouflaging me, and I had a really, you know those breath holds you have where you're like, oh yeah, I could stay down here for quite a while, and just waited and waited and waited until I got a good shot on him, and then I slithered my gun out and stoned him. And I was like, oh my gosh, all of that just came together. It was an awesome feeling because I'd picked the ledge, I'd talked about where we were going to lay the kinner, and like, I did have assistance, but just being able to choose all of those different parts of it myself, and also to stone it too. Like I don't want to lose the guy, and I was pretty bloody pumped to land that and put him in the floaty boaties. So
That's magical. Oh, I bet coming back to the boat with that, you would have just been so pumped.
well, yeah, he wasn't a huge guy, but at that point we still had 2 other burleys to check. So he kind of got pretty excited, whisked him in the air for a bit, and then threw him in the float boat, and said to the other guy that I was with, oh, you try the next one. Mm-hmm. As we know, it's been nice when other people don't always go over the burleys first when you get to help. So, but sadly, he detoured and took off to the left and kind of overshot the burley.
Oh, no.
I tried to call out to him and sort of get him to come back, and I thought, oh, well, he's probably wrecked the burley now, like gone over it in the wrong spot. And just as I was drifting over our second burley, I kind of looked down and realised had basically like followed him directly over it. And I looked down and I was kind of like directly above my second snapper that I got, and I just thought, oh, pretty sure Elise and someone else has told me that if you just drop down, maybe it was Darren, drop down really slowly directly from above and try not to actually have your fins like break the surface too much, that you should be able to come down on it. And so that's how I got my second one.
Because, they don't know where to go, and then like you kind of just make yourself look like you're a part of the food system, like you're coming in to check out what's happening on the ledge as well, not looking for them, but looking at the kinner as well.
Yeah, and there was so much kinner broken up around it, and there were lots of other fish that I just think it was distracted.
Feed them till they're done.
It wasn't a terrible shot, definitely wasn't a stone shot like the first one, so I couldn't believe it. I was like, how have I just got 2 snapper off 2 burley? And as I was going down over for that one, I saw a slipper lobster. So I had the second one on my line, and I yelled out to the guy that I was with, and like, come look at this, because I thought, oh, I've just taken 2 snapper off 2 burley, like, don't want to be a greedy guts. And within like 1.5 meters of water, there was just this slipper lobster, which I've never seen before, just crawling out on the rocks.
That's so cool. So that slippers are like the same as Spanish lobsters?
Yeah, I don't know what the right name for them is, but basically they don't look like a normal crayfish. And they've got like little blue bits and a kind of weird little hardened shell. Super cool.
I don't think I've ever actually seen one like in the wild, but I'm very excited. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, so that was
You've come
cool.
a long way. That's so cool.
Sadly, no cool GoPro footage of it. It was all too much. I was trying to try too much different gear in one day, and at the end of the day, I was just like, you know what? The GoPro's staying on the boat.
That's fair. No, do you know what? It's actually so hard to like when you've got so much going on and you're trying to get really good at one skill, to focus on the GoPro as well as doing that as well. Plus, also, it can get a bit more tangled up in the kelp, so you have to be very extra sneaky for that. But don't worry, I'm sure you've got plenty more snappers coming up.
Third and fourth snapper, pretty stoked. They did feel kind of like my first real on my own kind of ones,
so cool.
And it was just it was awesome to get 2 run right after the other. And all the boys are pumped about it as well. Everyone else got some good fish on that trip, and a really massive cray, a 3 kg packhouse lobster, which took us 2 days to pry out of this deep hole. So we went back on the second day.
Oh, you saw it in a deep hole, and you had to go the next day.
And it was, I remember one of the other ones I've seen, the antennae were longer than my elbow to my fingertip, and we were like, these are massive. We had to go back the second day.
I wonder what it thought about overnight. Like it saw you, and then overnight it's probably like... Either living in fear or just like, oh man, that was lucky.
Yeah, Dave or Darren noosed it out. I actually wasn't there for that. I was currently snapper burleying
deep in the hole, was it?
But they're pretty pumped, and we didn't see any like massive groups of kingies or anything else like that. Just heaps of really other good fish and heaps of kohuru and butterfish and the cool Spanish lobster and some really good snappers and a massive ass packhouse lobster. So everyone was happy and
awesome.
I thought it was a great idea to be chef. The boys expecting me to create some culinary treats for them, but
I heard that you did a really good job of cooking dinner, but can I quote, is it Dave who said, well, Laura, that was bold. Do you want to
Yeah.
do you want to go in on that?
He said, "Oh, curry's a bold choice." To be fair, we had a group chat and we were planning the food.
Yeah.
I was planning the food. Like, what are we going to take to have dinner? Blah blah blah. Make sure we catch some fish, guys. And I was told my curry choice, which was delicious, and they did confirm this, was a bold choice as their dinner on a boat.
And why is that? Because it's not a big boat. I mean, it's a big boat, but for like 4 people to sleep on overnight.
Let's just say that the next morning we all woke up and put on the poo music. And if you don't know what the poo music is, I'm now aware of what it is. It's basically where when you take turns going poos with music on so that no one can hear you while you all sit on the boat. Right? So that everyone can just sit on the boat and be thankful that Laura made a great fish curry the night before.
Yeah, so it's a short and sharp exit.
And into the water we slipped, and it was a great time. Sleeping on the boat.
Yeah. So where did you sleep on the boat? Like,
so a couple of the boys stole the cabin as expected.
Was it a 6.5 metre, right? So the boys
I
were
don't know these things. The boat was black, all right.
Is it?
Yeah, naughty boy. Or maybe I even
okay.
got... Oh, you know what? I think I've mixed it up with Uncle's boat. There you go. I don't even know what colour it was. No respect for boats I go on. Uncle's is black. Duran's is white. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Naughty boy is a big, flash, roomy boat, but 2 of the boys took the cabin and the 2 of us were out. One had his swag and I was just on the deck with my tiny little crappy bedroll.
In the middle of
and
winter.
And my Kmart sleeping bag with 3 jackets on. Safe to say, I felt like an old woman by 5 a.m. on Sunday.
Living your dreams. But no, it must have worked for you to get those snapper though. You also have a few new things that you tried out, which I'm interested in. One in particular is the weight vest. Actually, Laura, do you know what? Usually you'll go out and if you've got a new piece of gear, it will be like one piece of gear that is extra to your
Even that
normal.
throws me sometimes.
And that will really throw you off or get you used to it. But I believe you took a new mask, a new vest, a GoPro, some shark bands, and a new knife.
Yeah.
How did you cope?
Might have overcooked it. So I put on my new mask that I've been using at dive training that I specifically bought for snappering because it's black. Because a lot of my masks are extremely bright and colourful. And there's a lot of, I guess, belief that some of my colourful masks might be either scaring snapper away or bringing the sharks in. Well, I didn't scare any snapper and I didn't bring any sharks in, and I dove in my pink mask all weekend because as soon as I put my black new snapper mask on to dive with my suit, it leaked, it got water in my eyes, I got annoyed with it and I took it off. So it worked in the pool and I was all excited about it, but no, I just decided this is too much this weekend, I don't want to get water in my eyes. And the vest did not even make it onto my body because I was so worried that the other boys were going to get all the fish if I took too long to get ready. You know how sometimes you're getting ready and everyone's trying to get in the water and you're deciding who's in pairs and who's going in what direction. Well, basically, I just didn't bother with the vest because I had the mask thing and then, there's just a lot going on and I just did not get around to doing the vesty vest.
Okay.
But I will do that next dive. I was trying to give your GoPros a hoon and I was worried about losing them. I was worried about getting water in them. I didn't put the right one on the thing.
Worries.
I didn't have the card and the right camera.
Do is to relax and just go shoot fish.
Yeah,
so why have the extras?
I gave up on trying the vest. I got annoyed with my new black mask.
Dazza said don't go dressing yourself up like a Christmas tree, right? So
yes, he did. And I decided not to do the GoProing anymore.
Yeah.
But I did wear my new shark bands, which does take a little bit of, I don't normally wear a watch or GoPros or anything. So I normally just get my actual stuff on and just get in the water. So having to put something on my wrist, something on my ankle, was a bit of extra stuff, but I actually did feel, you know how much of a pussy I am about sharks, I actually did feel a lot braver and I did a lot of scoping ledges by myself in some quite murky water.
Yeah.
And I know it's winter and you don't normally see sharks, but the last time I dove in winter a few weeks ago, I did see sharks and they took my burley, so I was a bit on edge about that. So it was really nice.
So you had some confidence.
Had a bit of peace of mind, if you must know.
There you go.
So I will be wearing the shark bands from now on because I did not see any sharks and I did feel a little bit less like a pussy. So, had tried my new butty knife from Victory Knives. I don't know if people probably don't know they made diving knives because I didn't know. It was really good actually. I wear 2 knives now because I listened to some podcast from some dude in Australia about how you should always run 2 knives, so I wear one on my belt and one on my leg now. just in case I need it in some kind of twist up or tie up, or if you lose a knife, or just so that you've got different ones for different uses. So
How was it at ickying the fish?
honestly, so good. I probably, when you're getting used to going from like a smaller pointy knife to a big butty knife with a serrated bottom, I might have butchered a few fish at the start. But it was so much quicker and way quicker gutting.
Okay.
Yeah, that I was just like,
I
this
guess
is
if it's
epic. And it was like,
serrated,
obviously when you get a new knife, it's super sharp too. But I like both my knives for different reasons. But it was really, it was really good for quick ickying and just gutting and
Cool.
Nice, good butty knife. So we'll try my other new bits of kit, but note to self, don't try a bunch of new gear on one dive when you're going to like a real epic location. Maybe try it out somewhere low key where you can muck around with it a bit and be chill.
This is not an invitation to taking it to a swimming pool. Yeah, I know. It probably not the best look, kids running around, you just get your knife out and you're like, no, put that away.
Okay, I won't take my knife to the swimming pool, but I will wear my new weight vest to dive training.
Yeah.
Actually, and see how that goes. Distribute some of that weight off my waist and lower back to my back. So I do still think that's a good idea.
Too.
And I do think it's a good idea wearing a more like low-key, darker mask for snappering, and I'm sure it will make a big difference, but
You have to stop smiling and letting all the water into your face.
But all in all, a glorious time and a good group of dudes to go to a beautiful part of New Zealand and wake up to some beautiful sunrises, and get some epic fish. And I'm really excited about the snappering that will follow in the next few months.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too, and I can't wait to also get in on one of your bold curries and require some toilet music the next morning to cover up the...
Sign of a good carry on boat when you need the toilet music. Yeah.
Nice, man.
But yes, shout out to the 3Ds. A great time had on the overnighter.
Sweet. Super, super excited for you about that one.
Well, rolling into the more interesting sector of this episode,
sure about
Elise. Enough of my shans about snapper. I feel like I'm more excited than you about this trip, to be honest. I'm way pumped for you. Like, I've been researching the Great Barrier Reef for the last little while now, and let's be honest, kicking myself that I did not sell pictures of my feet online to make it to this trip when I was asked to come along last year. Probably, to be fair, always as your plus one, but definitely kicking myself. It sounds like a freaking epic trip.
It is going to be really cool, and I am excited. I've just been very busy lately. I've just got back from the States. Had an amazing time there, hanging out with friends and seeing my partner, and then now it's like back into work, and then now I'm like going again. I'm like,
Look, you're a jet setter, mate. You're a jet setter.
I haven't quite got my head around it, but I am super excited. I'm picturing the sun on my skin. I'm picturing diving down in crystal clear waters, seeing fish that I haven't seen before. Like, it's pretty cool.
So give us a bit of info then. Who are you heading away with?
Okay, so let's see, it's like a week and a half now, but it'll probably be, when this comes out, it'll be after that, so I will have already been and gone probably. So I'm heading away with the Wettie crew, so heading out with Darren and a few other boys that work at Wettie. A year and a bit ago, Darren started talking to me about this trip and said, do you want to come along? And I said, yeah, sure. And then agreed, said it was going to be great, paid for the trip, and then was just like, kind of put it on the black box. And then suddenly it's here now, so it's very exciting. It's going to be pretty cool.
What's the go? You go with the Wettie crew. What's the plan? I mean, I know a little bit about it, but you're on a liveaboard?
Yeah, that's right. So we land in Cairns, and then the next day we're all going to jump on this big boat, and we're going to head out to the Great Barrier Reef, and we're kind of going to move in and out and around the islands, going from like south to north, and just checking it out based on the conditions. We're going to spend some time particularly on the reef, looking for reef species, and then hopefully we'll be able to go to some of the deeper drop-offs and see if we can get our eyes on some Spanish max or wahoo or whatever chooses to swim past us.
So for those people who might not have, maybe like me up until 2 years ago, thought the Great Barrier was just Great Barrier Island, Great Barrier Reef in Australia literally says online that it is one of the 7 wonders of the natural world. Like, that's nuts. Like, you're making it sound like it's pretty cool, but like, you're literally going to the world's largest coral reef system. It's like 900 islands.
I am so excited for that.
That's sick. I can't even like fathom. And like you're saying, so many different species there. Like, what are you most looking forward to seeing there?
Honestly, if it's whale season right now, apparently, and if I can see or hear a whale, it will probably blow my mind. Like, that would just, a whale or like a humpback or like a whale shark, like that would be incredible. But like actually like fish for hunting wise, I would love to get a black spotted tusky. I would love to get a Spanish mac. If a mahi-mahi swam past, you know,
Hey, it says
I'd
that
dabble.
there's possibility of mahi-mahi, barra and marlin, so
Ooh, you never know.
sounds
Spent a bit of time in summer trying to catch a marlin, sitting on
wow.
the back of the boat, so it'd be a pretty funny surprise if one just happened to swim past, but I don't think my float's going to be quite good enough for that.
Well, it sounds like there is a large chance you'll see some golden GTs, golden giant treves.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be cool to see them, but there's like, yeah, I hear there's quite a lot of ciguatera up on the reef, so we have to be pretty particular with the certain species that
Okay.
we are actually catching. So GTs would be definitely out of the question.
So
for
basically,
that.
the bigger they are, the more likely they are to have sig. I don't know
Yeah,
much about it.
yeah, I think so. We've kind of got a list of species that are okay to shoot. I can't tell you them off the top of my head. And then a list of ones that are, please definitely do not shoot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I've got a list here of stuff that is just like red emperors, finger marks, coral trout, like tuskies, but I have no idea about all the sig and all that kind of stuff.
Well, the thing is, like, sometimes you can have, like, a fish where it's, you know, totally okay in the smaller versions, smaller models, but as they get bigger, it's more likely that they're going to have it. I guess it's like a build-up of toxins over time in the fish.
People like Darren who have done this trip a number of times and the people who run the charter liveaboard will know all about it.
You would hope so.
You would hope so. Okay.
I fully trust Darren with that kind of thing. He's pretty onto it. So, I'm excited. It's going to be really cool. It's like, when do you ever get the opportunity to go dive the Barrier Reef with a group of really incredible Spearos, and like particularly like, you know, the Wettie crew and Darren, like they've taught me so much, and I just feel really lucky to be able to go. So,
well, you bloody deserve it, mate. It's going to be an epic trip, and I'll be eagerly awaiting your updates. It looks like there's those crazy coloured crayfish there too. What's the deal with them there?
Painted crays, yes.
Can you shoot crayfish there? No.
Well, I don't know if
There's
I
some
want
areas of
to.
Aussie that you
Like,
can, right?
You can shoot them, and people do shoot them. But, like, I don't know if this is just, I don't know if it's a different type of hunting, but I don't understand why you wouldn't just grab a crayfish with your hand, you know?
They probably think the same way around shooting them.
Yeah.
Like, why would you use your hands?
I don't know.
Some people noose them and stuff, but those look nuts. So it'd be cool to see the colours and stuff of those kind.
Yeah. If you can pull out, like, a massive pack horse crayfish, I don't understand why you can't just do the same. But maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm going to learn some things.
Oh, you're about to find out.
And actually, maybe there's just no way you can get them out other than shooting. So I'll have to go and check it out, and I'll update you on that one, Laura.
Lovely. Well, the other excitements for your spectator seat that I have is apparently you might see clownfish, not for shooting, obviously. Giant clams.
Exciting.
Manta rays, which you've seen before, but would be super cool to see again. And it says here mouldy wrasse, which are huge, and potato cod, which can be 2 meters long, turtles and whales, as you said. So
I'm very excited for
that just leaves all our other mates. That's the 50 species of sharks that you might see.
No problem.
Love it. I'm slowly moving into my I'm interested in different sharks era.
Yeah.
Grey reef sharks, white tip reef sharks, leopard sharks, tiger sharks, great whites, and my all-time new favourite, the wobbegong, which is called a shaggy beard, which apparently if you see it makes sense. So I want to know what it looks like. So please get me some footage of a wobbegong.
I have seen one at Kelly Tartan's in the aquarium, and they do look really cool. I'm pumped. I'm also like, I've got some gear that I'm taking over that is semi kind of new, which I'm excited about. One in particular is this new float line from Wettie. So
Was it that stretchy blue thing that you guys were looking at in the shop, eh?
yes, so
Yes, do tell.
we'll get a little bit more technical than stretchy blue thing.
Wow, yes.
But I do like that. So I particularly really hate the feeling of a braided line when it like drags over your feet or touches you. Ugh, it just grosses me out. So I've always used, well, if not always, but I've been using like just like a float line, like a like the bungees, you know.
With the plastic piping
Yeah,
over
it's
the
like
top.
plastic
Yeah.
piping with the like line through the middle. I have had few issues with those where like they'll cut and then sink. Yeah, the same trip it got cut and then sunk and then ended up being okay because a shark ate the whole line
Oh,
anyway.
that trip.
It
Yeah,
just-
yeah, okay.
It
The
just like
Coromandel trip.
wrapped itself up. I hung a korahuru off the back. Anyway, the side story. We're going on a side quest here.
Side quest about the shark that got a fright.
So like, I was getting back on the boat and I had hung a kohuru off the end of my float and I hadn't seen many fish all day and we hadn't seen any sharks all day. So I just look back and there's all this thrashing and everything in the water. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I just unclipped my gun, which was lucky because what happened is the shark like twisted and got the line wrapped all around itself, and then my dive buddy was also swimming back to the boat and he just sees this bronze whaler covered in line just like boosting past him, and then he thought, oh my god, Elise's gun. So he went to go swim after it to try to see the gun.
What a good buddy, eh, John?
I know. I was like, it's okay, John, I've got my gun. But like in the moment I was like, where's my gun? Even though it was like in my hands, just because I'd like just attached it like a millisecond beforehand.
But you didn't lose your float and stuff, right? It just
No,
chewed some
it
of your
took
line
my
and
float
took
away
off. Yeah.
and then it ended up just chomping through the line and then it went free, which was good. But interesting because when John got back, he said, because I had sore ears, so I was just going back to the boat and I was only like 30 meters away and I could see him and Benny and they had like joined up and I swam back. And then he said that like he'd never seen it before in a bronze whaler where she was down snooping a ledge and it swam up behind her and hunched up like you'd get with the black tip reef sharks, and it hunched up like it was about to go. And so he like, again, great buddy, John Christie, he like swam down and like had to like give it a poke off to like freak it out so it would get out the way, and then 2 minutes later it was off like tangling itself up
I
on
love
the line.
that Benny didn't even know it was there,
She had
eh?
no idea it was
he come
there.
up to her real close, surfaced to her, and was like, "Are you
okay?"
alright?" Yeah.
She's like, what?
To be
Good-
fair,
good buddy.
I have seen bronze whalers do that hunchy thing.
Really?
And that's why I don't like them. They did them on one of the 2 first dives I went on where they smush up, and that's like the first thing people tell you is if a shark like gets all almost like hunched shoulders
Oh,
look.
I've
That
never
then
seen
they're
them
being
like that.
aggressive. Yeah, they're gross when they do that.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, so that was a side quest. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, float lines. So I've got myself a 30-meter float line, and it's a new one. It's called The Beast.
The beast.
The Beast.
Nice.
And it comes in my favorite color, turquoise. And basically the inner core is like a floating material. So the line floats, but then the kern mantle, or so it's a floaty, it's nice and smooth, it's got a little bit of stretch, and it can hold up to 700 kg, I believe, is what it's rated to. So
you're
it should be
taking
able
it-
to hold a good fish.
So you're taking it because it's going to be more durable and hold
And
heavy
it's
fish.
way more lightweight. So
Okay.
it's like a corded one, slightly bulkier than a corded one, but way less bulky than you'd get on like one of the plastic float lines, you know. I'll put some pictures up of it because I'm like very excited. I'm not sure of what the actual specifications are for the kern mantle, or like whether it's made out of like Spearo or Dyneema, but I will update that and I will put it on the show notes, and so everyone can have a look at my pretty float
Well, no
line.
doubt if it goes well, it'll be being sold at Wettie soon anyway. So
Yeah, hope so. I mean, I'm excited for it. Like I love a good rope coming from a climbing and canyoning background. Yeah,
no comment. Um,
I'm gonna cut
yeah,
that out.
rope chat. So is there any other kind of gear that you're taking that's for this trip? Like, are you taking a different gun? Are you taking both your guns?
Yeah, I thought I was going to be sweet with just my 110 and my 1 meter. And then I started asking questions, and then Darren was like, you're going to need to borrow a gun. And I said, okay. Anyway, so he's lent me a 120 roller and a 130 rail gun. So apparently, because the visibility is so good, you need to get a lot closer than you think you are. So you need to have a gun with a bit more of an oomph. So that's what I'm taking.
Okay, so you'll probably have to hunt quite differently. Well, I mean, I know you don't know these species because you haven't dived in Aussie before,
Yeah.
but has he said some stuff to you about how you're going to have to behave a little differently in the water for these kinds of fish?
Yeah, definitely. So I think we'll be diving down onto bommies. So there's going to be a lot of like just diving down, letting your self sink down to the bottom, and then just a really good breath hold and just laying on the bottom really relaxed, throwing up sand, just kind of like keeping your eyes down, and then waiting for the fish to come into you. I believe that's a lot of what the hunting's about. Again, I'll have to update you on that when I get back, because I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot in those 7 days.
Well, we'll do a whole episode on your Aussie trip, and hopefully you can have some chats with the boys on the boat and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can hear in detail about that.
I reckon Laura just sneaks her way onto the boat somehow, and we just do interviews on the boat. But, you know.
Oh, you know I don't like you going anywhere without me, so... Nah,
Yeah.
that'd be the dream. That'd be the dream. Some of us have to go to work. The children need to learn.
The children need to be educated.
Do you have a goldfish of all those different fish? I know you mentioned Spanish Max before.
Yeah, I would love to get a black spotted tusky. For a number of reasons. First of all, apparently they taste great. But secondly, because they're turquoise. And
They look
again,
cool.
my favourite colour. So, no, they look really cool. I would love to see some pelagics, but I'm not sure that's what we're actually going to be going for on this trip. We are going to be kind of looking more at the reef species than the pelagics. So we shall see what comes in.
And have you got anything that you're like most nervous or think is going to be like your biggest challenge on this trip, being somewhere different? And
Yeah, I think for me, I'm wanting to get more comfortable with depth. So for some reason, as soon as it gets like past 20, my brain goes, oh my God, I've gone past 20. And then it like freaks out a little bit. So I'm thinking, just relax, head down, see how you feel, and just kind of get myself a bit more comfortable with it, I think.
nice. And I know you love to appear like sharks don't bother you, but you have mentioned that the different kinds of sharks might be something that's a little bit on the back of your mind when you're in a new place. So,
Well, look, Australia
have to
has got
admit
bull
it.
sharks, and I can't say I'm super comfortable with bull sharks.
well, I mean, you've never seen them in the water either, so I don't blame you.
So I hear the Australian sharks are a little bit more spicy, so I'm not super excited about bull sharks, but we'll be all right. Hopefully no crocs.
I hope whoever your buddies are will have your back as much as I would and will prod them or do whatever it is they do in Australia to make sure that they don't come for your fish.
I'm not sure there's anybody that's going to prod them off the way that you do, Laura. You're a very good dive buddy, so...
Oh, bless. Bless.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, you're going to have an epic time and I'm very jealous, but go forth.
It's gonna be good.
And explore.
I'm very excited. It's going to be really cool. Well, I'll have lots of videos, lots of pictures.
And hopefully you can have some curries and maybe play some poo music and be
Yeah.
the only girl on a boat just like I was. And
There you go.
live to tell the tale.
It's just, I'll just like be in the toilet a lot longer and just like play the music louder just to assert dominance.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening to our Great Barrier Debriefs. Keep your ear holes open for an episode that covers my tropical reef trip with the Wettie crew.
If you haven't already, make sure to enter our Spearo Diaries prize draws. We have a number of goodies up for grabs from some legend brands. You can win by leaving an episode comment on Spotify, by following the details on our social media posts, or by attending the New Zealand Boatfish Dive Show and visiting our Spearo Diaries stall on Saturday the 31st of August or Sunday the 1st of September.
Thanks heaps to our supporters. These are brands that we already rate and use and love, including Dive R Fins, Shark Bands, Wettie, Victory Knives, Icy Tech, Divermon Art, Throw Flashes, Optical, Kiwa, and a couple of other legends. All details are on our Instagram.
Thanks for listening.
Toodles!
Toodles!